If you're still struggling to get the best clan or race right now, I'm gonna be honest. You're probably farming rerolls the wrong way. A lot of players are still using outdated methods like staying in Shinjuku and Lawless Island, or going back to C2 in Starter Island just spamming Quake over and over. And yeah, it works if you are trying to get aura crates and cosmetic crates. But if your goal is to stack rerolls fast, it's really not the most efficient anymore. So in this video, I'm going to show you the actual best way to farm clan rerolls right now depending on where you are, whether that's C1 or C2. And don't worry if you're still in C1, you're not behind at all. You can still farm a crazy amount if your setup is right. If this helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment because I'm doing a Game Pass giveaway if we reach 100 likes. Now guys, the very first thing you need to understand is that you have to change your mindset completely. A lot of players are stuck in the old way of thinking, where they believe that stacking as much luck as possible is the best strategy. Their entire focus is on increasing their luck percentage, thinking that the higher it goes, the better their chances are of getting multiple drops. And to be fair, that approach did work before. That was the meta for a long time, and many players got used to relying on luck as their main priority. But with this method, everything shifts. The way you approach farming, grinding, and optimizing your build is different now. It's no longer just about pushing your luck stat as high as possible and hoping for the best. Instead, what you need to do is find the right balance. And when I say balance, I mean you shouldn't be sacrificing your damage just to gain more luck, or completely ignoring luck just to hit harder. You still want to prioritize the damage because that directly affects how fast you can clear enemies, bosses, or whatever you're farming. Faster clears mean more runs, and more runs naturally lead to more chances at getting drops. At the same time, you can't ignore luck either, because it still plays a role in improving your drop rates. So the goal here is to combine both effectively, maintain strong damage output while also having a decent amount of luck. One of the best things about this method is that it really doesn't matter where you are in the game right now. Whether you're still in C1 or you've already progressed to C2, you can still take advantage of this. You don't need to be maxed out or have everything unlocked to start seeing results. The important part is how you build your setup and how you approach farming from this point on. And trust me, once you understand how this works, you'll realize why this method is considered so broken. Now, let's start with the foundation, and that is your build. This is where everything comes together. Like I said before, the key idea here is balance. You don't want to go all in on luck, and you don't want to go full damage either. You need both working together. So when you're setting up your character, you want to pick the best possible races, traits, relics, bloodlines, and everything that contributes to both damage output and farming efficiency. But there is one specific thing that stands out above everything else, and that's the Devil Clan. This is the exception because of how insanely strong its stats are. The Devil Clan is honestly one of the most essential and broken options right now. For this kind of setup, it gives you plus 15% luck, plus 42% damage, plus 60% max HP, plus 12% sword damage, and on top of all that, a 30% chance to get an additional drop. That combination is just crazy when you really think about it. You're getting high damage to clear enemies faster, extra survivability with the HP, and then luck plus the bonus drop chance. To boost your farming value, it's basically covering everything you need in one package. Now, if you're wondering how to get the Devil Clan, you're going to need clan rerolls. The good thing is, you don't have to go out of your way too much for this. Clan rerolls drop from enemies, so as you're farming and grinding normally, you'll naturally start collecting them. It might take some time depending on your luck, but eventually you'll roll into it if you keep going. Next, let's talk about your spec passive, because this is another important piece that a lot of players overlook. You want to go for Fortune Chosen. This passive is a huge part of why this method works so well, so don't ignore it. So just like the Devil Clan, it gives you that valuable +1 drop effect. Moving on to bloodlines, the one you want here is the demonic bloodline. This one fits perfectly into the setup because it complements both your damage and farming potential to get it. You'll need bloodline stones, which you can obtain by farming C2 NPCs now. If you haven't unlocked C2 yet, don't worry about it too much. This part is optional for you right now. You can skip it and still run the method effectively, then come back and add it later once you progress. For your power, you're aiming for Subjugator. This is another really strong option because of how well-rounded its stats are. It gives around 8.5% to 17.5% luck, 24% to 49% damage, 24% to 40% HP, along with crit chance and crit damage. Now, if you're already in C2, you can head over to Bizarre Island if you're not there yet. Just skip this part for now and focus on what you can access. But for those who are in C2, this is where you'll be able to work toward the final piece of the build, which is your relic. For relics, you want to go with a damage-focused relic. And yeah, this is probably the most annoying part to get out of everything. It can take some time and effort, but it's worth it. Since you can only equip one relic, you want to make sure it gives you the most value possible. In this case, we're choosing damage over luck because we've already stacked enough luck from other sources like Devil Clan, Subjugator, and Fortune Chosen. The damage relic gives you an additional plus 30% damage, which is huge. This helps you clear enemies even faster, making your farming more efficient overall. And since your luck is already at a solid level, you're not losing out by skipping a luck relic. Instead, you're maximizing your clear speed while still benefiting from all the luck and drop bonuses you've already built into your setup. So when you put everything together, Devil Clan, Fortune Chosen, Demonic Bloodline, Subjugator, and a damage relic, you will end up with a build that hits hard, farms fast, and still gives you strong drop value. That's the whole idea behind this method. Alright, now this is where everything really starts to matter, because the method you use completely depends on where you are in the game. So if you're in C1, then Infinite Tower is easily your best farming method right now. Once your build is properly set up with Devil Clan, Fortune Chosen, and a full damage focus, you'll immediately notice the difference. When you kill mobs, you're no longer getting single drops. You're consistently getting multiple drops per kill because all your bonuses are stacking together. That's exactly what makes this method so strong. Now, to actually run Infinite Tower, you're going to need tower keys. You don't need a crazy amount to start. Even something like 80 keys is already good enough. But obviously, the more you have, the longer you can run it and the more value you get out of each session. A single run can last anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes depending on your setup. But the real value comes when you leave it running for long periods, especially overnight. Since rewards scale with progression, the higher floors you reach, the better your drops become. To maximize efficiency, one of the best strategies is to bring in alt accounts or teammates into your run. You can leave them AFK while your main account handles all the damage. This allows everything to stack into a single run, increasing your total rewards significantly. After that, go into your settings and set your auto tower reset to the highest floor you can consistently clear without failing. This part is important because setting it to high will cause failed runs, which lowers your overall efficiency. As a general reference, if your damage is around 500% to 700%, staying around floor 50 is a safe and consistent option. If you're closer to 900% damage or higher, you can comfortably push toward floor 90 or even beyond, especially if you have support from alts or teammates. Once that's set, turn on auto replay, activate your skills, and let the system handle everything. For melee choices, Shinobi and Gilgamesh are both strong options, but Gilgamesh tends to be more efficient overall because its abilities last longer and can cover multiple floors per cast, which reduces downtime and improves clear speed. At that point, the method becomes completely AFK with a proper setup and boosts. You can easily farm around 7,000 to 8,000 clan rerolls in just 4 to 5 hours. Even without any game pauses, you are still looking at around 500 to 1,000 rerolls per hour, which is already extremely efficient. Now, if you're in C2, the entire approach changes. Infinite Tower is no longer your best option, and instead, you'll want to focus on Crystal Defense, which is currently the most efficient farming method in C2. Before you even enter though, you need to prepare by farming keys. While keys drop from any enemy in C2, the most efficient method is to go back to the starter island and use Quake. The reason for this is simple. Quake hits multiple enemies at once, allowing you to clear large groups quickly, which increases your drop rate and lets you stack keys much faster. Before entering Crystal Defense, once you've gathered a good amount of keys, you're ready to begin. Inside Crystal Defense, the objective is straightforward but requires consistency. Enemies spawn in waves from multiple directions and move toward the crystal, and your job is to defend it at all costs. Each wave you clear rewards you with crystal coins and other drops, and just like Infinite Tower, the rewards scale with how far you progress. The higher the wave, the better the rewards. Which means your main goal is to survive as long as possible while maintaining fast clear speed. Unlike simpler farming methods, Crystal Defense heavily punishes low damage or poor area coverage. If your skills don't hit wide enough or your cooldowns are too slow, enemies will slip through your defenses, and your run will end much earlier than it should. Weapon choice is very important because enemies come from multiple directions, so you need good range, damage, and cooldowns. The best option is Ice Queen V move since it's consistent, strong, has good range, and knockback to keep enemies away from the crystal. The World and Cosmic Being are also strong, but they need better timing and positioning, so they're less consistent for farming. Teamwork also helps a lot because it lets you cover more lanes and reduces leaks. Also, use an auto clicker so you don't get kicked during long runs. The overall strategy for C2 is simple but very effective. Farm a large number of keys using Quake. Enter Crystal Defense with a full damage build, preferably with teammates, and continuously run the mode while pushing for higher waves. Recently, the developers also added an auto reset feature for Crystal Defense, which makes farming even easier. You can now set the wave level you can consistently reach and let the system automatically reset and repeat the run. If you can reach wave 150, set it there for maximum rewards. If your limit is round 100, then stick to that for stability. This ensures that you're always farming at your most efficient level without risking failed runs. So to summarize everything clearly, if you're in C1, your best method is Infinite Tower with AFK farming and drop stacking. If you're in C2, your best method is Crystal Defense with active runs and high damage builds. Both methods revolve around the same core idea: maximize your damage, push as far as possible, and let scaling rewards do the work. If you follow this approach properly, you'll be able to farm rerolls at a much faster rate without wasting time on outdated or inefficient methods. And yeah, that pretty much covers everything you need to know about the best reroll farming methods right now. If you actually apply this setup and switch your approach, you'll notice a huge difference in how fast you're stacking rerolls compared to before. If this video helped you out, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment, especially since I'm doing a Game Pass giveaway if we hit 100 likes. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll catch you in the next one.